7 unusual equipment solutions that we use every week. Derek, what's our number one?
You know it, man. Everybody on this, listen to this podcast knows it. Sled is the number one. Sled is the number one. We use it. I use it every day. Since you've been back, I have not seen you miss a day of doing sleds.
No way.
Not a day. So, yeah, sled is the number one piece of equipment.
The Rogue dog sled is very good. It has the uprights so you can push it. Then you can attach to go backward. I actually started making my own strap for the sleds. You can go to Spud Inc. and you can buy a sled strap and a sled belt. So it's 2 purchases. You could probably drag an airplane with that.
Facts.
So I tried to make one that's just one strap. Losing my voice here. And that'll be on Amazon by summer. In the meantime, people have said they've been going to Home Depot and they've just been finding straps that work to drag the sled backward.
Yeah, you can find something. I got a couple makeshift straps in the gym. You can just strap some around that sled. It's pretty durable. So, and I've seen so many people just kind of makeshift their own sleds lately too.
We have seen that.
So yeah, but sled is the number one unique piece of equipment.
Yeah, and I divide up my time 50-50 gym and then living out of a home gym. So out of a home gym, I'm not going to put turf down and stuff. So the Torque Fitness tank sled, that's pretty cool. You don't have to put weights on it. Has internal resistance. You can wheel it right out of your garage. So anyone in LA, my 82-year-old neighbor was loving it.
Wow.
It was his favorite workout he ever did in his life is push-pull on the tank sled. And then Alyssa would use it. I would use it. I could crush myself on that tank sled. So those are the 2 good options I know of right now. Rogue dog sled and Torque Fitness tank sled.
Yeah, definitely, man. You brought that tank. What's it called? The M1 or M? What's the? Because I got
the M1 is much smaller. It's no good for backward. So unfortunately, it doesn't do the trick for me. But the M4 is heavy duty. So it's an investment thing for someone. That's not cheap, but it's cheap compared to knee surgeries.
Facts. Yeah, I love it, man. I love it. The M4 you got in here, we can take it right outside. If you got a house, you can just take it right out in your front lawn or front driveway and just get busy. So the sled is a priceless, like you said, it's a priceless piece of equipment, and I think everybody watching this should be at least using some type of sled as much as they can.
Yep.
So, yeah.
And my last word on that is treadmills cost way more than sleds, and those manage to line every gym in the world. So if treadmills can get popular where the machine does the work for you, sleds need to get popular. That's where the human does the work. We can actually change society by getting sleds in as a basic. It's the only thing that both kids and grandparents can get insanely effective workouts in 5 minutes or less. It gives me more time with my family. That's my favorite aspect. Number 2, slant. You have a Slantboard?
Yeah.
I've used that extensively.
Yeah, I got an adjustable Slantboard. That's like a sled and the Slantboard is probably the 2 most important pieces of equipment for me personally that has kind of transformed the way I've kind of felt in my body, you know. So doing the sleds every day and then actually using that Slantboard. And like I said, you showed me a lot of these exercises. And the first time we called it the Apollo step up.
Mm-hmm.
That was an exercise, and being able to do squats properly. I wouldn't be able to do squats properly without that Slantboard. So that's really one of the reasons why I created that Slantboard, because it wasn't prominent around the world. I mean, now it's kind of like getting more popular, but the sled and Slantboard is like definitely a big piece of equipment. Yeah,
big time. The slant's going to be probably the number 1 most bang for your buck thing, because you can get mobility through the backside and front side of your body. Super simple. I started making this ATG buddy because on split squats, my favorite exercise, ass to grass split squat, and everything we're talking about right now, our editor Drew has put together visuals of everything on this list if you want to watch on YouTube. So if you're downloading our podcast, thank you so much. We're not Joe Rogan yet. We don't get the video right on Spotify. But everything we're talking about, you can see on YouTube. So I built up my ATG split squat wearing Olympic weightlifting shoes. Probably the greatest knees and bodybuilding legs of all time was Tom Platz. He created his own squat shoe, not even an Olympic lifting shoe, even more slant than an Olympic lifting shoe. So if you look at the people with the strongest knees in the world, they're wearing Olympic weightlifting shoes or squat shoes. Now, I don't want to have to spend $150 or tell someone, hey, welcome to the program. You have to spend $150 to do split squats. So there's different options for different things. A slant board is going to be much better for stretching your calves. You can use a slant board for anything. But I created this basically after a rubber doorstop, this ATG Buddy, specifically for split squats. And you can also, if you're going to be going heavier on squats, you can angle your feet how you want. They're pretty cool. So lots of options for different people. And then you still have good old-fashioned solid wooden slant boards that you can get custom. That was fun for me. I had the Slantboard guy Slantboard with Onyx's name. So if you had a sports team, you could customize it however you want. So
that is cool.
All great options. I would probably have all three of them in my gym, depending on what you want to do. So number 3.
I love those buddies,
Yeah.
though, man. Just to kind of speak on those buddies just a little bit. They're so convenient. You know, they're light. You can take them anywhere with you. And like you said, like everybody body's a little different. Some people are taller, shorter, and you can like adjust those buddies to your level, you know. So that's one thing I do want to say, that those buddies give a little added bonus to even individual slant board. So
Appreciate
shout out
that.
to those buddies, man. I love having them in the gym. Yeah.
Don't go anywhere without my buddies.
Facts.
Appreciate that. Now, number 3 and 4 is tibialis and Nordic. And we do a lot of podcasts, a lot of videos breaking down why we do these exercises. This podcast is just on the equipment side of it. So I'm sorry we can't break down everything in this podcast. I'm saying number 3 and 4 together because the most bang for the buck, Derek has a Nordic strap. So you can strap that up on a bench to turn it into a Nordic bench. You can also strap up a dumbbell. Boom, you've got a tibialis machine. So the tibialis options range from using the strap with the dumbbell to the home gym guys make a tib bar for 2 legs. They make an iso tib for 1 leg, which is a game changer. Going 1 leg is a game changer for rehab. And then I can never remember the full name of his company, but he makes something called the Iron Shin. That's on our list. That's in videos. The difference between the iso tib and the Iron Shin, you can crank a dumbbell onto it, whereas the iso tib, you put plates onto it. So again, there's different options. If you train from home and you only have plates, well, there you go. If you want to, attach a dumbbell of any size, boom, you've got Iron Shin. And then the Mac Daddy, the Watson tibialis, that's what we have in here.
Yeah.
So why don't you break down tibs?
Yeah, tibs, like that's another really important exercise. And like you said, you got all these different variations of products that you can use. You can even use the Nordic strap for the tib raise too. So
Exactly.
So I don't know. I just feel like that's, like you said, that's the first line of defense of running and jumping or backpedaling is your tibialis muscle. So it's very important that you train that muscle as well. So all these are great options. Like you said, if you got dumbbells, plates, the Watson machine, there's so many options. So there's really no excuses anymore. Once you understand how important that tibialis muscle is for your body, for your athleticism, like grab one of these products, So yeah.
Simple thing anyone can do to enhance longevity, make life easier over the long term. So we try to make videos showing all this different stuff. So maybe you can see what identifies to you. What do you think you would be most likely to use? What fits your budget? Because how can you say, okay, if we have the Nordic strap that you can get and attach a dumbbell and do tibialis raises, we also have in the gym here the Watson tibialis machine, which you have like a 6-month wait time just to get one of those, and it costs like $1,000. So there's no right or wrong. But what if you have a gym that you already have? Most sports training gyms have at least $100,000 of equipment inside. So, I mean, shoot, if you're going to be doing that, get a fleet of actual tibialis machines.
Yeah.
So there's no right or wrong. It's basically what's going to fit for you. And then getting into Nordics, I'm a big fan of the Rogue Nordic bench because it's so simple to get into.
Yeah.
But how much is that worth to you? That thing's like $600. Well, if you're a teenager and you want to get a college scholarship, then you're just asking the universe to be better at video games than scholarships if you don't have a Nordic bench in your garage. What do you want? I mean, do you want to be a pro athlete? Do you want to make millions of dollars? Or do you want to be a professional video gamer? It's up to you. But if you don't have a Nordic bench in your garage and you're an athlete, then you're going to say, I'm just going to go with the modern knee statistics out there. I'll take my chances. I'm very willing to have an ACL tear. I don't mind. I'll have an ACL tear, risk my future. So people will come at me. What? You want me to spend $600? Go into every gym. Look at the machines. Those things cost $5,000 a piece and don't protect your ACL. So we're here to change gym culture too.
Yeah.
We can't dumb things down. We actually have to create the future. The future is unwritten. Nordic benches will be in the majority of gyms around the world because of how cost effective they are and how many surgeries they'll save.
You said a mouthful right there, B.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Nah, that's good though. It's so true, man. I see all these kids. They say they want something, and then when it comes down to like really invest in something, they want to ask mommy, dad, but they'll pay for the video games, they pay for the shoes. But I don't know. I just feel like you said something right there where like you really, if you want something, man, you're gonna have to make an investment, man, with your time, with your money, with your resources, and just like go after it. I feel like all these products, if you want to be a high level athlete, even if you want to be just a high level performer at anything, I feel like all these products are just necessary. Your tibialis, your hamstrings, the sled, like this is not just this. It's no longer an option. No, yeah. So yeah.
Yeah, and everything we're going over is actually far cheaper than the norm in the equipment industry. So every single item we're covering is cheaper than the norm. Sled versus treadmill, Nordic bench versus machines, all cheaper than the norm.
Yeah, that's real.
Number 5 is hip flexors. And our favorite for the longest time has been reverse squats, where you're hooked up to a cable machine and you're contracting your body together, pulling by your feet. Now, I went on Amazon recently and there's no strap to do this. It's crazy. There's no strap to train our hip flexors. So Derek's making one of those.
Yeah.
In the meantime, work on your L-sit. So that's what Knee Ability Zero is. Knee Ability Zero is taking the things that we do in the gym, and then how do we get close to those results with literally nothing? But the king is still the reverse squat. The king is actually hooking up to a cable machine for a reverse squat. So fortunately, Derek is making those go-to product. Again, look how much money you're saving by getting that instead of a $5,000 hip flexor machine. Yeah. That's about what they cost for modern hip flexor. They make hip flexor machines. Yeah.
Are the ones you kind
of but they don't even work. They're not even as good as actually loading up with measurable resistance.
Yeah. That's another one of my favorite exercises, that low cable. All these, man, I swear, all these like products are like almost my favorite exercise. The sled, the tibialis, the low cable, the Nordic. It's like, and these are exercises I didn't know about growing up, you know? And so yeah, I recognize the strap wasn't on the market, and I feel like somebody had to put it out there, you know?
We do this out of duty.
Yeah.
When you do your business out of number 1, duty, number 2, money, I think you're going to have a lot happier of a life than if money is the number 1 on your list. So if we were doing this for money, we would have made this stuff a long time ago.
Yeah, facts. Yeah, or we would have waited until we had all this stuff.
I was like, oh, I can go buy it on Amazon. Fine. Now it's like, oh my gosh, this is so unpopular to do these exercises for longevity and bulletproofing your body that it doesn't even exist. You can't go buy a sled belt. What the heck? You can't buy a sled belt. You can't buy a reverse squat. Man. You can't go buy like these door stops, you know? I mean, it's a much bigger version of a door stop. So we're making really, really simple and cheap equipment. And that segues right into home solutions because Derek was just doing it today. A cable machine costs about $3,000. Yeah. So really about May to October, I'll be back in LA for baby number 2, just living by the same baby doctor, training from home. But I'm excited to rebuild my home gym because that helps me help people who are on the ATG program. So now this Anchor device is like $600, but compare that to $3,000. And cable machines are. Have you ever tried to move one of those around? One of the worst experiences in my life.
I brought that here. It was like I had to get like some gorillas to bring it over here. I hired some gorillas. Yeah,
absolutely brutal. So the Anchor, I could throw that in my backpack and travel around with it and still get tons of resistance. Yeah. So going from hip flexors to home solutions, now we have a way at home to get measurable resistance. And again, it's an investment for you, but I think it's pretty cool that the things we're talking about on this list are all way cheaper than modern gym equipment.
Yeah. I love that Anchor, man. I just kind of like just use it for the first time today, and it's an amazing product. You can, like you said, you attach it to anything and just put those reverse squat straps and just get busy. And you can do like rows, you can do press downs. It's like you can take it anywhere with you. So I like that. It's home solutions.
Yep.
Home solutions.
And everything on here, we have links and discounts. I should have mentioned just about everything on here. We have discounts. If you go on Google and you search ATG equipment list, that thing has been opened over 1 million times. It'll pop right up on Google. To this day, I've never made a penny on equipment, and that thing's been opened up 1 million times. So if you thought this was about money, I dare you to find someone who's had a referral list used 1 million times without making a penny.
Nah, man, you turn people into millionaires.
You know what? Joe Rogan theory. Look how many people he's turned into millionaires. Now he was just offered 4 years, 100 million. So I think about value differently. I think about my value is only equal to the value I put out. Value out equals value in. So whatever someone wants to think about Joe Rogan, everyone's entitled to their own opinion for sure. You should have your own opinion. No one should tell you what to think. But if you just examine the value out, okay, he's made 100 millionaires. So no wonder he's getting offered $100 million contract. So I do it out of duty, and I think about money in different ways. Business is never a stress for me. It's just a game, and my focus is on value out. That'll come back to me. Now when my buddies come out, I'll have a product from day one, and people who will support it because I've supported them. That's pretty cool. That's how you make a good society. You help each other.
Yeah.
I also like the B-bars from Base Blocks. We used those for our level 2 seminar this week. Those are awesome because they're super portable. That's what I'm going to use from home. Love it. You can work on L-sit, dips. You can flip it around to work on chin-up, like L-sit, chin-up. We have those right in here. You'll love them. Have you tried those yet?
I saw them, man. I saw them. I haven't tried them, but I saw them. They're very convenient. You can put them anywhere.
You don't have to screw anything together, so you could deassemble them really easily if you needed. Like you could keep them in the back of your Jeep or something like that. Yeah. So that's a good one from home. And then just good old gymnastic rings.
Yeah, rings, push-up bars.
Yeah.
Grippers.
Yep.
You know, so many things you can do.
Yep. So we covered it. Not the flashiest podcast, but this one was about getting the data to you. Derek, you want to carry us out with number 7? Knowledge.
Hey, knowledge, man. Knowledge is power. We put a lot into these books. The ATG for Life is a 2 times a week program, longevity. I feel like anybody, if you're a young kid or you're 30s, 40s, and you feel like you want to put your body back together from the ground up, this is a winner for you. So ATG for Life, and then Bing has his Knee Ability Zero book that's blowing the charts up right now.
Yeah, so it's pretty cool. We tried to cover it so that if you were to read both of these books, you're not going to be reading the same exercises twice. This is going over the basics of what we do in the gym at the levels. This is the kind of stuff that has my mom, my dad loving training, making outlier progress for longevity. And then these are the things that I used during COVID for myself and tons of other people to get crazy results with literally nothing, like zero.
Yeah,
that's why I called it zero.
People love that book.
So
man.
It's good. These are good tools to have. Thank you guys so much for watching. Any final words? Derek sometimes has some wisdom for us at the end.
Nah, if I was to say anything, man, I would just say take your health seriously. You know, everything we saying, like Ben said, it's not the flashiest podcast. We want to just get this information out to you. These products are like, we're not, like Ben said, we're not making money off these products, you know. And Ben definitely is not, you know. So
we will with our own products coming out.
We will, you know.
This is a win-win. It's not like we're not talking about other people's products to sell our own. We're talking about everything that can help people. And I think that's pretty cool. Like I could easily shadow and not talk about stuff and just wait till our stuff is out.
Yeah.
But we're not.
Yeah, you're not. And I just feel like it's a reason that you're not, because you truly want the world to be better. You know what? You want these young athletes, your 12-year-old self. And I feel like you always say you talking to your 12-year-old self with knee pain. You know what I'm saying?
Talking to him right now.
Yeah, and it's like
he needs to know these.
These 7 things.
Would have saved him $10,000 out of pocket on knee surgery. I would have been dunking in high school instead of being in a walker my senior year, not even having friends, not even getting. How good would it have felt my senior year to be throwing down dunks? I'm 30 now. Come on, when I was 8, when you're 16, 17, 18, you're in the prime of your hormones to jump higher and stuff. Yeah. Come on, if I'm doing this now at 30, I probably would have been jumping higher then.
Yeah.
Not to mention college basketball would have been so much more fun and not as stressful. But I was actually using this stuff to get more athletic in season. So like freshman to sophomore year of college, I was watching all my teammates' bodies break down. And for me, the games were getting easier. All of a sudden, I was having no knee pain. I was getting bouncy. I was the best player on the team by the end of my sophomore year. And I started out a scared kitten. I was getting cockier. I was getting bouncier. I was getting more athletic.
Because you were doing these exercises?
In season, because I was doing this in season. Exactly.
And the players on your team were not doing it.
Right. Everyone was like losing bounce, joints hurting. My joint pain was going away, getting bouncier. Finishing games like I could play another game right now.
Yeah.
And before I'd be crushed and sore the next day and icing.
You talking about my
Anyways.
college career, man? Like
Yeah.
I came into college, man, the bounciest I've ever been. By the time I was senior, I was barely dunking.
And it could have been the opposite, and you'd have been an NBA All-Star.
Like facts, man.
Yep.
Yeah. And so that's who we talking to. That's who you talking to. And you just like Ben is nonstop. He wants to get this information out there. He didn't want to wait, you know. So just take heed to that, man. Take this advice and grab this equipment, man. Go to this equipment list.
If you're listening to this, you're probably a grinder. We're talking to the grinders who have the work ethic, but don't have the right route. Now you got the route.
Yeah. I'll let
out.
you.
Brick check.
Brick check.
Oh shit.
1, 2, 3.
Man, stay
Not
shut.
bad.
Good work, man.